Hi, this is Professor Gutierrez, and I wanted to talk about the poll discussion we had in class. Um, I read over all of them, and I found a lot of them very interesting. A lot of different methods of randomization, and a lot of different lengths of time to collect data. So it was very interesting how people decided to do that. And I wanted to go over a couple of different things that I noticed in a lot of the discussions. Uh, So a lot of people decided that the DMV was a good place to go, and I think that was an excellent idea, going to the DMV. It's not something I would have thought about. Some people wanted to go to Facebook. Others wanted to collect polls online or through newspapers. Newspapers are a little bit of a dying breed, so I could see that as an issue, but otherwise, it sounded like there were a lot of different ways people wanted to do that. So I thought that was good. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people were asking drivers what they thought, but not that many people were asking what the cyclists thought. No one went to bike shops or gyms or railway paths to get poles. Now, some people did go to like nature shops to have people pulled out there, and I think those places would probably have higher higher number of cyclists. If you polled at colleges, you would also find that you'd have a higher number of cyclists. So that would be another way that you could try to get cyclists' opinions as well. As far as deciding who to poll, now some people polled only people living in the I-5 corridor. And others also polled all of Washington State. Made sure they did something county by county. So there are different arguments for both of this. For the I-5 corridor, you have people living there, and I think that's pretty good that they should get to decide if they want to have a bike lane or not. It's going to affect them the most, so that's important. On the other hand, everyone in Washington State is paying for it, so it is not unfair to ask for a poll for Washington, for every single county to have their input on it. So anyways, that's some of the things I thought. Next thing I wanted to talk on is biases. Now, a lot of you tried to avoid biases, which I think was great. There were some people who seemed to intentionally put biases in there. I had one or two people who said, I would do X, Y, and Z to drum up support for this option. And remember, the point of the poll is to get an unbiased poll. It is not to get a poll in support of. So that's something you want to keep in mind. We want to make sure that we have a poll that is as unbiased as possible. There are already going to be groups who support the I-5 corridor bike lane. There are going to be groups that are against the I-5 corridor bike lane. There are going to be people who do not care about the I-5 pup lane. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? A lane just for puppies? That would be horrible. Dead puppies everywhere. Well, they didn't stick to their lane. All right, bad idea. No puppy corridor. Anyway, so, we had that. So we want to have it unbiased. So we don't want to have people supporting it. We don't want to have people not supporting it. We just want to find out, what do people think about it. Hopefully they will already have been educated. If not, we just have to take their poll as it is. That's how democracy works. You simply ask people what they think, and they vote. And sometimes they vote just to stick the middle finger to someone, and we kind of see the effects of that. If you look over across the pond, Britain voted for Brexit, and they didn't even know what that was, and now no one wants to do it. You thought I was going to bring up U.S. politics? No, I wouldn't do that. All right. Now, there are a couple of other people who tried to be unbiased, but I think they went about it a little bit the wrong way. They wanted to educate And the reason I have a bit of an issue with that is who does the education, who gathers the data. You're adding a lot more issues with that. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. Also, some people paid people for the poll, and that's certainly an option. One issue I would have with that is that it could easily cause a bias. People will, you know, for $5 I'll fill out something and I won't even care what it says. I actually do that. Go to Sonic, they're like, oh, fill out this survey about how great your thing was, and then you get a free Route 44, which, by the way, are really good. Get them during happy hour, they're like cheaper. Anyway, and corn dogs only $1. Right. What was I? Tried beating me. Oh, yes, pay. So this could cause people to give you junk data just to get the $5. Doesn't mean they're mean people. Doesn't mean they're jerks. It just means they want $5. I want $5. You probably want $5 too. If I paid you $5 to watch this, I suspect you would. I'm not going to. So, sorry about that. That was a little bit of a teaser. All right. Let's see. Others try to be as unbiased as possible. And I appreciate those efforts. Some of them were pretty good. Most of them were pretty good. Others, not so good. But I think collecting the data was pretty good. The answers, yes, no, I don't know, or won't give an answer, I think were the best options for that, as far as the possible answers go. Another thing I also noticed, which I thought was a little bit funny, is that at least in my mind, I think an I-5 bike lane would be a disaster. Because I-5 is so busy, especially in the middle of cities. I think it would be very dangerous for bikes, and I think it would be very irresponsible to do that. But I simply did put it out there as an option. If you disagree with me, feel free to give your opinions as to why you disagree with me. I'd love to hear it. This is your professor signing off. I will see you later in the class. Or not see you, but maybe see you. Respond with a video to this, and I will give you $5. I'm not going to give you $5. But feel free to respond with a video. And I am trying to grow out my hair. That's why I look like that guy from what is it, Ancient Aliens. The pyramids. Aliens. Dude. Yeah? No? Yeah, believe it or not, I am your professor. That's how I look. All right. Let us roll.